Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome to a surprisingly warm 65-degree Monday the 13th that we are of June. Man, 65 is not much less than what our high was yesterday. I think we were supposed to get to 76, but the highest we ever seen was about 72. Very comfortable. It was really nice. Really nice going on a ride. I like the wind blowing around when you're riding. Not violent wind, just a good strong wind. Makes you, I don't know, just feels more natural. There's no fakeness to it, you know. Sometimes you ride certain motorcycles that are just so like perfect that they're, I don't know, it just doesn't feel real. It's like, God, I could have just taken the car and had the air conditioner. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky. Whew. All right, let's bust out on Monday. Well, Mama, it's already 72 degrees here in Vancouver.
It's gonna be a warm
Look at the beautiful skies.
Very good.
And vibrant colors.
Pretty blues.
Yeah. Mama?
Yes, I have.
Like we say every Monday, it doesn't come back around.
I know it.
Come back quick.
Sucker.
Yeah. It was a nice, relaxing weekend.
Mm-hmm. That was nice.
That ride was spectacular yesterday.
Yeah, that was really nice. It
Oh,
would be
God.
nice
I
going
just-
on another ride.
Yeah. Kelly's going, I just want to keep going.
I
I
know.
was like, well, just run her out.
Yeah.
But anyway, nice days around us. We're not dead tired when we get home.
Yeah.
We go for quick little rides after work.
It always sounds good in the morning.
And then you
But
get
then
home.
when you get off work, you're going, I just want to sit here.
Yeah, sign of age, I reckon.
Yeah, and crazy busy at work.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about summertime. You have, in the wintertime, you think about all the stuff you're going to do in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
But you're so busy at work, you go,
Yeah.
I just want to relax today.
Yeah, you're spent by the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Mama,
Oh,
have a good day.
you too.
And I'll see you as it rolls along.
All right.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Been plugging away on this gal. Just getting the valve covers and stuff back on. Had the stock air filter in it, and the filter needs to be replaced, but there's a nice shiny new one. There's the old one. It's dirty enough, it needs to be replaced. But valves were perfect. Basically right in the middle, just like you find them. Throttle body's clean. You don't see grunge. You run one of those fabric filters in there. You run your hand across there, and there's grit. Always. Horrible things. Horrible, horrible things. Don't ever get suckered into buying one of them things. And if you run in a stock airbox like this, and it's a stock replacement, there's no performance gain. Don't let anybody fool you into thinking it is. Those things work great in a race application where there's no airbox, and they're great and big, and there's no pressure points. In other words, the air going through it is not going to have any specific area that's going to have a high flow rate in it. That's why you see like flat trackers and stuff like that got them great big filters on there. But anyway, point being, she's at 28K, so it's in for its second 24K service. Remember, this is a twin. The 28K is the first big service on a triple. And there is no valves in there, they're HVA. Just make sure you use BRB oil in there, and they'll live a long time and turn into something good to eat. But you get it together. There's a throttle body sync procedure that's done on this thing. It's basically an air bleed adjustment. There's no physical, the cables, there's not a linkage in between the two plates. It's an air bleed thing. That's not adjustable. That's all computer controlled. But anyway, typically what you see, they've been taking care of it. I think I've worked on this thing years and years ago. I may even have worked on this at the Longview store. I recognize the name. You remember I was telling you the other day about sealing that air passage on the cam cap? sealing that thing. It seems like I did that to this one once before, because I think he was blowing oil. It goes up, comes in, goes into this chamber, and it just should be air. It's kind of like a baffle, and if it gets too much oil, it'll start misting out. It'll soak your air filter and it'll make a mess. And they tend to drain on the right-hand side out of this corner right here. And I think I remember this one being that way. She's a good old gal. I do like the RSs. None of the normal, the weird things with, you know, the hose, the O2 sensor hoses leaking. And they just never ran hot. They run hot for the driver, because it blasts that air out of that right-hand radiator. It's typical water-cooled motorcycle. It's not the engine is well protected. It's just the driver that gets really hot. And these old twins just had that single radiator on this one side. And while you're moving, you know, it has ducting that keeps it away from you. But like you test ride one of these things without that duct, like I did on that RT the other day, where the radiator didn't have the channels to flow through like it's supposed to. Whoa, them puppies get hot. But anyway, you notice a different sound with the air compressor. That old DeWalt, after, dude, it has to be close to 15 years that thing's been around. And she finally gave up the ghost weekend before last. So this was an air compressor that we used during COVID, that you sprayed the grips and you sprayed the bike down with it. It was some special chemical. They used it at all the car places. It just missed, and it just required air to do that. But anyway, just thought I'd update you, seeing I've only got like an hour and 15 minutes left of my day. Been working on it. That's not easy or fun, but there's other things we're doing here too. It's a big service. It's a big one. So he'll be rolling out of here all happy. I guess he takes crazy trips on this thing too. He's got the bags and everything. I think a picture I took of it, they were still on. I took the bags and stuff off. But he's got a comfortable seat on there. Loves this in his RPM profile. 59% over 4,000 RPM. BRP wants to see the RPM profile to be around 60% over 4,000 RPMs. If you're there or close to it, perfect. And he's right there. Right there. So he's doing a really good job. So the evap system will always, here's your evap canister right there. And that system will always stay clean. There's no condensation, or I mean centrifugal clutch problems where you're Joey slip clutching a thing, because it's, like I say, it doesn't fully engage till 3,800 RPMs. So all that time you're riding, or you short shift one of these things and ride it under 400 RPMs, the clutch is never not slipping. My son's got one at home that he's working on for a friend out there in the country where he lives. And a guy did a smoky burnout on it, and yeah, I've never seen a clutch so bad. Literally so bad, the whole clutch basket, everything has to be replaced. So yeah, be easy on your clutches. And that was a SM5. This is a SE5. So it has that centrifugal clutch in it. So you know it slips when you take off from a light, you know, so it's doing what you would do with a manual clutch. But then you get up to 4,000 RPMs, shift at 4,000 or higher. This is an engine that Rotax made for Aprilia for years and years, even their race bikes. Even, what's his face? I'll lose the name. The racing Harleys. What's his guy? He worked for Harley forever. The Duke keeps coming in my head. Oh my Lord. The racing Harleys that had the Sportster motors. Well, later years, you know, he kind of went away and then came back. He was, the Harleys that were racing were a version of this motor. And I watched one of the race teams doing a rebuild in between races or whatever, and literally it is that motor. So these motors were meant to rev and stay revved. The biggest problem we had is most of the people that were buying the RTs when they first came out in 2010 are coming off of Harleys. You can't convince those people, rev it, rev it, rev it, rev it. They love to be revved. Doesn't hurt them a bit. If you rev it too far, a rev limiter kicks in. But they like to be spun up. That's where they're built, and that's where they like to live life. And it doesn't hurt them. They live forever if you take care of them. What kills them is short shifting them, short running them, and not doing maintenance. Or not riding them at all. They just rot. They just simply rot. Manifolds dry out. The O2 sensor hoses, they rot out. Yeah, they rot. Oil pump. The water pump, which has an oil seal. Usually the oil seal is what fails, but yeah, then those water pumps don't like to just sit. So anyway, nice little chat. Thanks for listening to my rattling. So my correct sized orange dot G8 compound BF Goodrich KM3s. So those came in. They came in over the weekend, or I think they came in Friday when we were at the graduation. So I got these lovely RC 4-wheel drive wheels to go with them. And as usual, no wheels, literally no wheels seem to fit Proline tires unless they're Trail wheels. So only ones I found. You find these other things that look cool, but you got to buy something from Trail to make them work. The bead is too big. They got a really strong bead on them. And the way these things mount up, they will not go on. So it is 8:25. We got home about 6:15, and I've been fighting one wheel the entire time. Talk about frustrating. Incredible tires. Best, I mean, just love these tires. Let's see, there's a G8 compound. So, you know what works great? Cheap wheels deserve really cheap tires. So, cheapo Hobby Park tires. I think it was like 11 bucks. These are the ones that had on the K10, the same style. But those came with the wheels. And yeah, they work fantastic. And they'll fit these wheels that have such a thin bead lock. They can't handle the thick bead locks of a Proline tire. So I took one of those cheap Hobby Park things and I put that on. Took them things away. But I do like the look. I picked these things specifically because they have that scale look. There's a stock wheel. They sit a little taller. It looks a whole lot more, but it's really not. And how about that? They do look good. They just won't fit a quality tire. You gotta throw a cheap tire on there if you want them to work. I've run across this over and over and over. Nothing fits these Prolines except for Trail. I think Proline used to make wheels, but now they're owned by Horizon Hobbies. So yeah, all that's out the door. I noticed they used to make YouTube videos all the time, and like a couple years ago they stopped. You don't see any more videos. The last videos I seen were the Proline shocks. I put those back on. These are much nicer for just trailing, goofing around. Now I'll save those Desert Lizards if I do anything serious. But that's the wheels it came with. That's those wheels. I could fit only, I mean, literally I'm about to damage the tire to try to get it on. I gave up. Now, the tires are worth way more to me than these cheap little tin stamped wheels. But they do look good, and that's what I was after, is they're actual steel wheels. and I wanted that you know, period look. These are the first ones I got, and you can see the fit. If you look in close, the fit and finish of those things are like subpar, to say the least. I don't know if it's just a cheap metal and they just painted over them, but they were too dished. They're way too far. The bow ends way more. So I got these, and I thought the gray would look better anyway. It kind of fits the car better. But I'll put the other three together, and we'll try this thing out with these cheapo Hyrax. Oddly enough, a Proline copy, and we'll see how they work with that. But yeah, very frustrating. Just literally, I want to throw something. I don't now, but I was mad at the time. There's some good looking wheels. Yeah, those are nice. Those are really nice. Just make them so they fit. Quality tires, please. Well, hello there, you two. Do the things that you're using your hands a lot. Things that are very satisfying and not frustrating. It's a good, when it's over, it's a good frustration. You learn something, you know. It's like working on motorcycles. There's always something new. There's always something around the corner that's going to get you.
Yep.
And, yeah, it just makes me mad when you spend money for something. You get all excited, and then you make a mistake 3 times now getting those dadgum class 1 tires. And, the Proline tires won't work with those wheels, so but some cheap old Chinese things from Hobby Park is a company that sells them. Go right on, no problem. Had some other wheels with the same problem, if you guys remember. Just it didn't work, couldn't work. But those other cheap, those the KM3 knockoffs that's on my K10 and Kelly's F-150, they go on cheap wheels too. But yeah, Proline wants a I guess a more substantial wheel, but they're more expensive. Kelly goes, we bought 2 of those wheels and they didn't work. How much would 2 of those compared to the trio wheels? I said, could have got a set of trio wheels. And you can get those right through Amazon, so they show up fast instead of waiting, you know, ordering from a site only. But anyway, a lot of work on that old, I won't say GS, but it's a RS. It's a year newer. In 10, they switched to RS. But that's a 2011. That's one of the early RSs. Same line as the old GSs, the original Spyders, but still cool. It's a good looking one too. But anyway, I think I've rattled enough. You guys are probably going, I don't want to hear that son of a gun no more. Just start a vlog and just ride the motorcycle. We don't want to hear a word. All right.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. And you guys have an amazing Tuesday or Wednesday.
Heck yeah. All right. I don't think it's going to be as hot tomorrow.
No, I don't think it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But it could change.
Yeah, the car going down the highway, of course, you're picking up road and traffic stuff. It was 92 at one point, so that's pretty warm. Yeah,
it was warm when we got home.
Oh, yeah.
Air-conditioned car.
Yeah, oh boy, you get out of that car and you're like, bam!
Yeah, it's like, whoa, it is hot out here.
Yeah, cheap.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you then.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.